Blessings. How's everyone doing? I've not recorded a random episode of just me talking about things in a really long time, so this episode is definitely going to be that. And today's topic that I really had in mind was suicidal thoughts and suicide and things like that. And what does Islam teach us, and how can we recover from these thoughts? And what can we do to make ourselves become better people? So, inshallah, this will be beneficial for everybody that listens to it, whether you had suicidal thoughts or not, or you still are, whatever your scenario may be. Inshallah, this should help you. I feel like personally, there's a stage that comes in everybody's life where they're like extraordinarily depressed to the point that they do consider suicide. They do consider that, okay, maybe I should just end it once and for all. And the problem is, people don't like to talk about this. They like to think like it's embarrassing. They like to think that if I expose this, people will judge me. The reality is that it comes upon every person. Whether it hasn't come upon you now, maybe it'll come upon you later, maybe it won't be so severe, but every single person in life will at one point fall into some type of depression or sadness that they will find really hard to overcome. And throughout these times, I always hear people who told me or who tell other people how, it's gonna get easy, through hardship comes ease, it's gonna get better, and it's just kind of like, but when is my happy time gonna come? And that was something that I always asked myself. I'm like, when is my happy time gonna come? I know there's hardship with ease, but when is my ease gonna come? And that was something I always asked myself. And then I started to realize that I'm like, your ease comes from not what necessarily is around you, but what's from inside of you. There's a lot of times that we think that ease comes from our environment and our condition, and that's true. To an extent, it does. However, you physically are human. You cannot control everything that happens in your life. You can't control what you're going to wake up and do this day. You can't control the unexpected. You can try, you can lay it out, but not everything is in your control. You can't control the fact that you're going to get in a car accident today. You can't control the fact that you're going to get sick today. There's some things that in our life that we generally can't control. And that is exactly why when you wait to be happy, you're never going to be happy. I always tell myself, like, happiness is a journey. It's not a destination. I'm not going to wake up and be like, all right, today I reached happiness, so today I'm happy. That's not how it works. Happiness is a journey. And every single day along that journey, you're going to be sad some days, you're going to be happy some days, you're going to be great some days, you're going to feel horrible some days. That's the journey. And that's what teaches you what happiness truly is. So that's the first thing I really wanted to get out there, that happiness is not a destination, and nor is it permanent. It's not a permanent resident area. You can't just stay there and think like, all right, I'm here, I'm never leaving, because if that was a scenario, we would have all lived in a big house called happiness and never leave. But that's not how it works, because sometimes you finally reach that spot that I'm happy, I'm doing well, and then something happens and it collapses you back again. And that is exactly why I always like to believe so strongly that happiness is a gift, and it's a gift that is given by Allah, and that is something that you need to pray for. Happiness is what makes a human content. And so when we think that, oh, if I get this, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to pass school, I'm going to become an amazing doctor, I'm going to pass school, I'm going to get an amazing job, make six figures, I'm going to be a great individual, I'm gonna have a family, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna be securely happy. The reality is there'll be always some problem, and Allah will teach you this again and again and again till you realize that your happiness is not always going to come from what's around you. Sometimes it's gonna come from what you have to make within yourself. There's a lot of problems on this earth where we try to look for the solution on this earth. We're like, okay, this is the problem I got, but there's some problems whose solution comes from above, that you have to pray for, that you have to seek guidance for, that you have to seek help for, because not everything that you're going through is what someone else went through. So you can't expect all your problems' answers to be right here on earth for you to find and then lead you right back to happiness. Another reality is actually the fact that happiness is something that you cannot attain forever in this world. It's something that you'll get in Jannah. And there's a reason why a lot of the best, great things we can't have on this earth, because if we did, then what's the point of heaven? What's the point of hell? What's the point of these things that makes us become better individuals? There's no point. Because if I have happiness right here on earth, then I'm not going to have this longing feeling of going to Jannah. Now, does that mean you can't be happy on earth? No, of course you can be happy on earth. And the biggest method that I've come to realize with happiness is that when you're a Muslim, especially when you're, so strongly believing in Allah, you're on this path, you're trying to learn about Allah, even when things are bad around you, when things are bad inside of you, and you can't find a way out, there is a comfort that you'll always feel, and it feels like it's from Allah, like He's just comforting your heart every time. And whether you open up the Quran or you just sit there and pray or you just sit there and stare at the ceiling, you really think about God and His divine presence and how He can rescue you through every single hardship, you will find even the saddest times to be times of growth. And let's be honest, self-development's exhausting. Self self-development is tiring, it's annoying. To be honest, sometimes it becomes too much. There's a lot of times in my life where I'm like, I hope things go the way that I want it to go. Because I know God might put me on another route, but I don't want to be on that other route because that route is going to cause me to give me more like space to become a better person, to do more self development. And honestly, I don't want to do that right now. And that's the truth because becoming a better human is long. It's a lot of work. And the reality is we think we can be perfect, but we're never going to be perfect. Sucks to hear, I know. The route of self development and just self perfecting yourself to at least who you think you could be, the best person that you could be, it's not easy. And you can only get there through hardship. You can only get there through trials. That's it. And so when it comes down to suicidal thoughts, sometimes when we're extraordinarily depressed and we feel like there's no way out, I want you to remember that your life is not in your hands. You think it is. But right now, you have not overstayed your visit on this earth. I cannot tell and put into words how many times I see certain people and I wonder, this person is so depressed and suicidal now. What if they grow up to be the next big influential figure in Islam? Think about it. If you're suicidal right now and you're listening to this, do you know what's in your future? You don't. And some of you could be really old, to be in your 20s or 30s or even later than that, and think like, oh, I'm old now, life is over for me, there's no other chance, this is it, that's the end. But I don't think you're understanding that maybe even when you hit your 40s or 50s, Allah is going to place this big medal of honor upon you that you never thought that you could even be able to achieve. There is a reason for your pain. There is a reason you're in hardship. There is a reason that you're sad. And Allah is going to show you that reason. Maybe not now, maybe not in 2 years, maybe not in 5 years, but you're going to become this amazing person. And this individual you're becoming, your hardships are going to be the reason that you could save someone else's life. I need you to understand this. Your depression, your sadness, your things that you are recovering from can be the same thing that can rescue someone that was once just like you. So the next time you feel suicidal, ask yourself, I'm feeling depressed, but if I overcome this, how powerful will I be? This is something I like to ask myself all the time. Even in hardship, I'm like, this sucks right now. I feel the lowest I've ever felt. But if I overcome this, I'm going to be 10 times better than I was before. And that's the thing about life. Allah's going to put you through things, and those things is what's going to make you better. Because on our own, we cannot develop that well. Always remember that it's not your place to take your own life. It's not your place to cause yourself harm. It's Allah who does things for us at the perfect time. And a lot of times I hear people saying, like, why do bad things happen to me? Why does Allah do this to me? I want to remind you that Allah does not benefit from doing bad to anybody. He doesn't care. Why would he need to do bad to his servants? He loves us. He cares for us. If there's a calamity or bad thing that has fallen upon you, it's really because either one, we are getting maybe punished for our sins, or he's trying to teach us something, or two, he's really trying to develop you as an individual. And a lot of the time there's choice too, because even when we're getting punished for our sins in a manner, Allah has his way of taking that and developing us to become better Muslims. And trust me when I say there is a big open space in each and every single one of us Muslims to grow and become even better than we think we are, because Allah has made us like that. Don't ever give up on yourself, because Allah has not given up on you. This is something I always tell myself. If I'm still breathing and I still have life in me, it's because Allah is not done with me yet. So I may be done with myself. I may be tired of myself. But Allah is not tired of me yet. And Allah is not done with me yet. And perhaps maybe I'll grow up to be somebody so influential and help somebody one day who probably felt the same way that one time I felt, or you felt, whoever may be listening to this. You have a purpose. And I know that a lot of people say this and it's like so cliche and it's like, oh my God, but your purpose is not necessarily what the world tells you it is. It's what Allah tells you. Your purpose here is to be the best Muslim you can be, help as many people that are not Muslim realize the beauty of Islam and convert, and most importantly, help all those around you and help yourself. Worship God, be on the proper path, and always pray for goodness. Thing is that we don't necessarily know our purpose. That's the thing as humans. We don't know what a purpose necessarily is. Some people are like, oh, my purpose in life is to change people's lives, to help people. But how are you going to do that? Because at the end of the day, it's truly God that changes lives, that helps people. So remind yourself that maybe you are like the path that Allah's going to send guidance through to rescue someone else. But first, you need to rescue yourself. You need to get up. You need to realize that you have every single attribute in yourself to be a strong, good servant of Allah. Because Allah has not made you any less than anyone else. This is definitely a topic I want to elaborate more on, inshallah. But always remember that your life is not in your hands. It's in Allah's hands. And right now you may not know your purpose, but Allah is going to make you and turn you into somebody absolutely amazing. Each and every single one of your trials is going to teach you who you truly are meant to be. Don't fall short and commit suicide. We're told in Islam how a lot of the people that commit suicide are not guaranteed heaven. We aren't anybody to interfere in Allah's divine plans. When things may seem hard right now, know that Allah has something way better planned for you. Your good time will come, and remember that happiness is not a destination. It's a journey, and you're going to be on the journey for life. The best thing that we can do is prepare for Jannah, which we will always be happy in.